Coming up on the second hour of American Sunrise, Refugee Watch. The Trump administration is set to review all refugees admitted into the U.S. during former President Biden's time in office. We're going to talk about the president's plans and the legal challenges the administration could face. Plus, terrorist crackdown. President Trump taking steps to designate chapters of the Muslim Brotherhood as terrorist groups. Now the 30-day deadline has begun. We'll explain. And later, House Speaker Mike Johnson says Republicans in Congress are moving full speed ahead on President Trump's affordability agenda. We're going to talk about how the administration is working to lower the cost of living later in this hour. Those stories and more as the second hour of American Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
we have breaking news to share with you.
Politics.
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
We've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second hour of American Sunrise. I'm David Brody, coming to you from D.C. Let's bring in Dr. G in West Palm and T. Bates in our Denver newsroom. Good morning to both of you. I know, Gina, at the top of the first hour, you were talking about how thankful for me and Terrence, and seriously, we are extremely thankful for you and our audience, our chat. My goodness, are they extremely thankful.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
You bring it.
And you know, it's because I come from a background in radio. And I always love that interaction with the audience. And I love how how Zen has made our network so interactive with our audience through our ambassadors program and other things that we feel like they're family to us. Like we know them, like exchange Christmas cards kind of stuff. I said today in the chat, I said, you guys have to tell me your handle on whatever social media you use that I communicate with you, because when I get a Christmas card from you, I don't know when your name is Sherry Smith, right? I know you as MAGA Queen, or whatever.
Right.
So it's true.
That's great.
No, it makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
This is truly a community, and that's one of the great parts. And I would really like to visit each and every one of you tomorrow to participate in your Thanksgiving meal. Yes, selfishly, I want to eat off of everyone's table, but it's because we're a community and because I'm just that kind of petty. So yes, I'm going to put it out there. Hey guys, let's get to some of the big stories of the day. Airports across the country starting to get more and more crowded right now as travelers make their way to their Thanksgiving locations. The day before Thanksgiving is traditionally one of the busiest travel days of the year. AAA estimates that nearly 82 million Americans will travel this Thanksgiving holiday. 73 million will travel by car. Another 6 million will fly. Extending Obamacare subsidies continues to be a thorn in the president's side and a challenge for congressional Republicans who are seeking to fix this issue leading up to the January 30th government funding deadline. Tuesday, President Trump said that he prefers not to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies. However, the White House is reportedly preparing a 2-year extension as millions of Americans face the prospect of major premium increases if and when those subsidies expire at the end of this year. And the holiday season is in full swing at the White House as President Trump and the First Lady pardoned Gobble, the turkey, at the White House. A second turkey named Waddle was also pardoned but didn't make it to the White House. Those pardons are tradition for U.S. presidents, and of course they date back decades. That's a quick check of your headlines. Now, let's get a quick check of your forecast with Weather Nation meteorologist Adrian Hernandez. Adrian, good morning to you, my friend. Sometimes it's time, for some of those hometown forecasts. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, actually, I got a few of them for you, Terrence. The first one's going to come from Jim Dandy, L7J. I know you didn't give me an exact location, but you did say you're around the East Ozarks, so I gave you this Cape Girardeau forecast all the way through the weekend. Your low temperatures are going to dip below the freezing point, so you have a good chance of maybe seeing some snow after the weekend starts. Well, on a Saturday, Sunday, but your best chance for snow likely will come on Monday in the form of some mixed precipitation. Then we also have Texas Girl forecast for Plano, Texas, where I'm sorry, you're not getting much snow at all. Your low temperatures don't even dip below the freezing mark. However, Saturday will be your best chance for rain, about 80% coverage come that point. We're still tracking this system of low pressure that's likely to cause some issues further up in the upper Midwest, especially if you have any travel plans to fly in and out of some of those airports. As of right now, we don't have any delays. The DCA airport delay actually just lifted. They extended it to 9:30 and they kind of just got rid of it. So things are really going to start to clear up across that region. But we still have these blizzard warnings that'll be in effect all the way through Thursday in the morning. It's going to extend from just south of Duluth over to Ironwood, Houghton out to Marquette. And we do have Marquette International Airport, Marquette Sawyer actually. So again, likely to maybe to see some delays and some issues going on there. But again, as of right now, nothing really going on delay-wise, at least for the upper Midwest. Could change going into the next few hours. Out in Duluth, Minnesota, this is how it looked on Sunday. The winds whipping up some of that snowfall out by the ports there. And then also places like Hayward, Wisconsin, we saw some flurries in the atmosphere. A nice, beautiful shot, but we're again likely to get some more of this as we go throughout the next several days as these temperatures will start to dip. Places like Bismarck get down to around 15 degrees in Terrence, maybe even over to you guys, 20 degrees over in Denver. I wouldn't be surprised starting next week you guys might see some snow, so I hope you got your snowblower ready going into next week, Terrence.
Don't say that. It was 19 degrees when I got in the car this morning, and I was already ready to call in sick then. You mentioned Duluth, and I always have PTSD. I interviewed for a job in Duluth many years ago, and the moment I got off the plane, it was like -13. I knew at that very moment, no matter what they offered, I wasn't going. I knew at that very moment. Like, I got off the plane, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this. Anyway, good to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Not Merry Christmas yet, but Happy Thanksgiving to you. Enjoy.
Thank you. You
friend.
too, Terrence.
Of course. All right, let's get you over to David now. David, a lot going on here. Hey, and I have to say, when Adrian just mentioned Cape Girardeau, I felt Dr. Gina jumping for joy. You know, that's Missouri, and she's a Missouri gal. So I figured she was probably jumping for joy. Look at her. There you go. I know you very well, Dr. Gina.
Oh, he used the French pronunciation, but he has to understand that in Missouri, we name everything French names, and then we mispronounce them.
So isn't it pronounced Cape Girardeau? Isn't that how you guys say it? Cape Girardeau?
It is Cape Girardeau. You got it precisely right. But yeah, I can always tell when people actually speak French because they'll say, Dr. Loudon. I'm like, oh, you speak French. It's loud and...
Dr. Loudon. Wow. I'm going to start using that, actually, just to be fancy. Dr. Gina Loudon, good morning.
Good morning.
Very
good morning,
nice.
Mr. Ascot Boots.
Wow.
I like it.
Mr. Brodet is going to now intro the next story.
Brodet.
President, thank you very much. Okay, I'll stop. President Trump's administration plans to review all refugees admitted into the country during former President Biden's time in office. That's a lot. The Associated Press, I'll say it, reports almost 200,000 refugees came into the U.S. during that 4-year period. A memo signed by the Director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services says the previous administration prioritized, quote, expediency over detailed screening. Really? Got it. Joining us now to discuss all of that is RAV Chief White House Correspondent Brian Glenn. Brian, what a nightmare. But then again, the Biden administration and nightmare kind of go hand in hand. What do you think? Walk us through the logistics of this. I mean, I wonder how the administration plans to review that many refugees. Good luck. That's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, that is going to be a challenge. Good morning, since we're talking about countries. I don't think France is on this country to review, but about 185,000 refugees coming through during this Biden administration. It wasn't about vetting them. It was about getting as many as they could in that window of opportunity. These are countries from Congo, Afghanistan, Venezuela, Syria, countries that we are known to have maybe not the best people coming across our borders. So they're going to do these investigations, do a little bit more vetting for these individuals. Now, how they're going to find them all and get them vetted in a timely manner, that's yet to be determined. But advocates say this will only increase the traumatization of going through the vetting process. So I just say this: if you got nothing to hide and you're a good, outstanding, person, you came through, you got a good job, no criminal record, I don't think you have anything to worry about. But what President Trump is trying to do is still get out those bad apples that might have came through this reckless opening of the border with these refugees. 185,000, David, coming through that we don't really know who they are.
Yeah.
brings to my mind the Muslim Brotherhood. Of course, on Monday, President Trump designated that group and several of its chapters specifically as terrorist organizations. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent now have 30 days to submit a report. Can you talk about the process and what's happening behind the scenes to get all of this done at this point?
Yeah, this is very much like the refugee situation when they have to go into these particular chapters and find out which ones have been trying to influence Western civilizations. We'll bring up Sharia law as a great example for that. If you look to see what Governor Greg Abbott just did in Texas last month, designate them as a domestic terror organization, a foreign terrorist organization, if you will. And then so they've got to go through that. Now, once again, this goes back 100 years in existence, ties to a lot of jihadist groups. So some of the colleagues, when we broke this story the other night on War Room, they were saying, we're surprised that this hasn't happened sooner, considering all the events around the world. But yet, once again, President Trump taking a very hard stance on terrorism, designating the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization. We'll see how this plays out in the next coming months. Now, they have 30 days to give the report of these different chapters. So there's several chapters you got to look into, and they got 45 days, Terrence, to put this in action.
Brian, last night on News Nation, Chris Cuomo did an explosive interview with surgeon and scientist Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong. This man has developed a breakthrough cancer therapy that has literally cured thousands. And he met with him, President Trump, back in 2016 and 2017, personally briefed him. I happen to have a friend who was also a common friend of President Trump, who was at death's door, and this doctor saved him. Dr. Shiong says all he needs, Brian, is a sign-off from President Trump. So much about government is so hard to understand how it takes so long. But if President Trump knows about this, what would it take to get an immediate EO to give access to people? Why isn't this included already in his amazing right to try law? I thought this kind of thing was there. The FDA refused to respond to this doctor when he asked why, and they cite the need for years more of clinical trials. But Brian, I've got a dog with terminal cancer right now. I am busting my tail to save. If people want more clinical trials, let them try it on their critical pets. Let's see if it saves life there. And if it does, let's have a shot to live. For the life of me, Brian, I'm frustrated. I don't understand this. Do you know about this meeting? Is any of this on President Trump's? Want to win midterms, Brian? Cure cancer.
Yeah, no, that's a great, excellent point. And of course, Maha's been a big part of this administration. You know what, Dr. Gina, as you're describing this is the power of this network. This is the power of this show, American Sunrise. And this is the power of having someone from Real America's Voice, myself and others, that can go into the Oval Office and ask the President Trump about this. This could be saving lives right now.
Yes.
People watching us at home, they're dealing with a loved one, maybe themselves with cancer. This is a game changer. So I will say this, the next time I'm in the Oval Office, which is after the holidays, by the way, President Trump is down there at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach. He will return Sunday night. I will make a promise to America that I will ask this question, because I do think if President Trump knows about this and knows just how impactful this can be to save lives.
Yeah.
We know President Trump is one of the most compassionate human beings in terms of solving problems and helping others.
Yeah.
He'll do this.
Common
we just got to get it in
sense
front
solution.
of him.
And that's what President Trump is all about. Just common sense. Break down the bureaucracy. Go in and just do the right thing. It makes so much sense. I know if President Trump, if this gets in his brain, he will absolutely fix this. Yeah. And Brian Glenn, I'm so excited. And thank you for that commitment. And if I see him this weekend, for sure, I will talk to him as well.
Absolutely. That's why we're here. You know, a nod to Parker and Rob and all of us. We do this show to help Americans. We do this show to help everyday Americans with all kinds of problems. This is a major issue. Yeah. And if we can help save lives, then I don't know. I mean, what else did God put us here to do? This is what we're here to do, to help people and to serve others. So hope everyone has a fantastic Thanksgiving and nod to the French theme we had here. I'm going to visit Charget a little bit later today and pick up some groceries. So
very nice.
Brian,
Brian Glenn.
Nicely.
Happy
Have a beautiful
Appreciate you, Brian.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you back.
All right, coming up, a major shakeup in America's schools. A House panel launches a new anti-Semitism probe into 3 public districts. What investigators say they're looking for and why those districts were targeted. That's next. Back in a moment.